Hello, everyone. Just trying to see who is here.
Hello.
So I'm going to mute everyone. So if everyone can mute their speaker.
Is that Candace?
Yes, it is.
See, wait.
Okay, so we're going to get started. So I'm going to ask everyone if you could please put your audio on mute. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to get started. And welcome everyone. And for everyone that's new and maybe new to especially this ceremony, the ceremony has had to be revamped from what it normally is. Obviously, we're usually outside in the elements, but due to COVID, we are doing our ceremony more internal. Not new to us that were part of our community that would come here, because when it would rain, we would have to do this. So kind of is fun in the sense that we get to have a more internal fire. So it doesn't take away anything from the ceremony, just in how we're in relation with the fire. So instead of it being very external, it's more internal. So you may feel it more internally with like more heat in your body, or feel things, more of an alchemical experience within. And that is really neat and fun. So we're here tonight in our full moon that is in Aries. And there's lots of different things about it. And then we have our harvest moon. And for those that were part of our autumn equinox, you know that we were talking a lot about harvesting in our gifts, harvesting in what are the beautiful gifts that and medicine that we developed over this, from the seeds that we planted in the spring and fed and nurtured and grew in the summer. But also, what were the seeds we planted that didn't grow anything? Things that we may have thought were in our highest good that ended up not really playing out or manifesting. And so tonight's another opportunity to let go, to really look and see what is not in service at the moment. What maybe are we still holding on to that is not in alignment with where we're headed? And we're in this place of harvesting our gifts, but then going inside and regenerating, rejuvenating, so that we can then again start the cycle over again. We're going to go into that place of slumber soon, go into that place of death, go into that place of going in and finding the teacher within. So when we're going in and working with that teacher within, how many of this medicine and gifts that we have acquired do we want to bring in with us into our slumber, that we want to lay with and to be with? I don't have to let anyone know that we're in incredibly auspicious times right now. And we're in this time of rebirth. And we are midwives of this new time. And before birth, for anyone that has given birth, they know it's not the most pleasant or the easiest or non-painful or scary experience that we are put into. but it's this entry in this journey into new life, into new beginnings, into beauty, into joy, into unconditional love. And that's where we're at right now. And it's chaotic and beforehand and all the places of where we're at right now on the planet. And so that's where the gift of ceremony is so vital and important, because it takes us out of our linear thinking. It takes us out of what I would call, for me, my monkey brain. My monkey brain that is always going. Instead of stepping into that stillness, instead of stepping into that place of knowing, instead of stepping into my spirit self and allowing my spirit self to be the driving factor. So ceremony gives us this completely beautiful, vulnerable time to be able to step into oneness with Creator, with our higher self, to be able to have that divine link between the two, that we can then ask. You know, we have the beautiful energy as fuel of this harvest moon and of the Aries full moon, and even of the sun in Libra, because the Aries full moon, what I was reading about is how one person can affect change. Like, what would have happened if Rosa Parks didn't sit in that seat? But so it took one person's action. But having that sun in Libra behind her was, who were all the people that stood up behind her? Who were those people that when she created that ripple, that stood in alignment with that ripple to help see it to fruition, to give her strength and to pick her up and to support her? So that's what this full moon has right now. We have the opportunity to sit in our oneness and see what we can do to ripple out and to affect the change. But in doing so, with this Libra sun, it gives it the fuel, and it gives it where it can be held and supported and be that place of oneness. So go from the place of one to the place of oneness, that we are all one and we all are moving for the collective. We are in unprecedented times right now. And so I encourage everyone to, as often as you can, I have talked to a lot of people today. How do we stay out of the negative thinking? How do we stay out of, I'm just going to ask everyone if they can mute. Yes, Sherry, on your bottom left hand, there'll be where you can mute your audio. Or we can help mute it for you. So then it just doesn't.
See, I'm trying to look at it on my tablet, but I have to hear it on my phone. I can't get it to play on my tablet.
Did you, on your tablet, turn on the audio?
I am so not tech savvy.
That's okay.
Like, I'm basically watching you and not hearing you unless I have my phone on.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not.
That's fine.
So
Sherry.
what do I do?
It's fine. We'll keep it like it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. So we are in these unprecedented times, and how we move and what we think is vital. It's vital right now. So I was having a conversation with a friend today of, there's our thoughts that create our reality, but what is our intention behind our thoughts? And then even beyond that, where do we put our attention? So, because what we focus on expands. So we were talking before about what do we want to create in this world? And that's where it's called what courageous dreaming is what do we want to create in this world? What exactly is the world that we want to create? Because that's where our focus and our thoughts have to be. We cannot right now entertain any thoughts that are not in alignment with what we want to bring in our life. That's how quickly things are manifesting. That is how strong the prayers are right now. And beat yourself up. If you do, that's fine. Autocorrect. Think of autocorrect, like on your phone, like as you're typing something in. If there's a thought that isn't in service to you, autocorrect it. Autocorrect it to be in alignment with what you want to create. Because it is vital right now to truly be mindful of what we're thinking. But beyond what we're thinking, what is our intention behind our thought? And all day long, where is our attention? Is our attention on what we want to create, or is our attention on the discord or the disharmony or the chaos? Because if you keep focusing on that, I can guarantee you that's what you'll keep getting. It's just the universal law. The card I picked tonight for the group, and have Ashley put it up, it's detach from drama. And there's a lot that this book said, but to me, it was just, where is there the drama in your life? And drama is anything that does not bring you stillness and peace. So anything that has you out of feeling still, that still lake, that eye in the center of the storm, because that's hummingbird medicine. And we really need to right now stay in that place of hummingbird. Stay in that place, because right now we are being asked to take an epic journey. We are being asked to take a journey that our world is not reflecting that it's possible. Our world is not reflecting that it's even attainable in the slightest. So we have to then dream from that place of being courageous, of letting go of all the limiting thoughts. But more importantly, part of hummingbird medicine is the hummingbird. So the hummingbird migrates. Now, we all know the body shape of a hummingbird. The hummingbird should not be able to take the journey that it does. Physiologically, not metaphorically or anything, just literally, physically, it should not be able to do what it does. It's able to do what it does because a hummingbird will only drink directly from the sweet nectar of life. So I want you to listen to that. A hummingbird will only drink directly from the sweet nectar of life. It knows instinctually where to source to get life force. If it did not, it could not take its journey. It would die, it would not be able to migrate. So think how powerful that is if we knew where to dip in and dive and go to those resources that feed us. But we spend so much time feeding on places that don't feed us, that usually deplete us. So we got to learn how to be like hummingbird. How do we find those places of source? How do we source from those places? How do we know how to dive in and find them that rejuvenates us, that regenerates us, that lifts us up? That's the vital place at hand. Because when we can do that, and when you look at a hummingbird, when it's in motion, it looks like stillness, right? You can't even see those little wings going. They're going so fast that it looks motionless. It looks still. So when we talk about that gift of the North and that place of magic and of the mythic and of the soul, we're talking of that place of, can we learn, how to drink directly from the sweet nectar of life? How do we stop sourcing from places that don't nourish us? So that we can take the epic journey of ourselves, so that we can step beyond any boundaries or any limits that we place on ourselves, or so we can step out of our mind that is so full of limiting beliefs at times, because most of the times we're not coming from our higher ascended self, because we're in 3D. Like we live in these bodies, right? So we are 3D. So there is our ego as a part of it, and we don't want to kill off our ego. We want to be in communion with our ego. Our ego is vital to our journey. But the ego cannot be what is the running force of your vehicle. Your vehicle, which is you, needs to be driven by your soul, by your spirit, by that ascended part of you, not by the limiting part of you. But we need our ego to know to step out of the way of a train, to find food, to pay our bills, to take care of our kids. So we need to come into balance and into Aini and into right relation with those aspects of ourselves, but mostly be able to come from that place of our soul, to be soul-centered. So that's in the tradition and the medicine that I'm bringing you in the Peruvian, that's that place of the north. You know, the south is about that physical, about shedding of the skin. How do we shed our skin? And our goal in shedding our skin is to do it like serpent. How do we do it in one clean swoop? And when we're able to do that, we step out of the place of suffering. Because suffering is optional. Pain's inevitable. As long as we're in 3D form, we're going to have pain. But suffering is what stops us from our dreams. Because pain, you know, you're on the other side of it. You step through that suffering and step through the pain, you're on the other side. And you realize that the part that hurt the worst was before you stepped through it, and that's the suffering. When I was going through my training, so forgive me for anyone that's heard this, but when I was going through my training, Alberto told us the one night, he's like, okay, when you go home between tonight or tomorrow when we meet again, I want you to go take a shower. I want you to turn it on ice cold, and I want you to get in the shower. Once you're in the shower, you can up it to whatever temperature you're comfortable with, but I want it ice cold and I want you to get in. And so that night I went in and I did it. I waited whatever amount of time on the other side, got in, stepped through the pain, turned it on. And the next day, his sharing was, the guide of knowing how long you'll sit in suffering was how long did you stay outside of that shower and agonize over it and think about it and go into agony over, oh my God, it's going to be cold. Oh my God, it's going to hurt. Oh my God, it's going to sting. Rather than just go in, get in the shower, feel the pain of it, feel the experience of it, and then, you know, it's over. You turn on whatever you want. You know, how long did your ego allow you to sit on the other side is a good gauge of understanding of how long you'll sit in suffering. So if anything you remember tonight, especially with everything going on in the world right now, is to realize that anything that is creating suffering in our life is of our doing. Because as soon as we step through it, what I've learned time and time again through doing ceremony is the things that I feared the most are the things that made me anxious the most. The minute I stepped through them, it was done. Like there usually was a sense of relief, a sense of it wasn't even what I thought it was most of the time. But that suffering on the other side kept me from movement. It kept me from stepping into what I needed to do, where I needed to move in my life. So become aware of that. How long will you sit in suffering? And not to judge yourself, because please God, don't judge yourself. I know I do that too much. It's just there as a tool for us and a reminder to understand of how we can get to the other side of things quicker, the more that we don't sit there in that place of suffering. So, and then the place of the West is Atrango, Mother Jaguar. And Mother Jaguar is that place of the Rainbow Bridge. It's the place of being able to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next. How we can become peaceful, luminous warriors. So hear that too. A peaceful, luminous warrior is someone that can walk on this planet yet not leave an imprint. So think about that. That means we are walking in this world and not leaving any karmic imprint. That means that if we were walking in that place of Jaguar, we can walk into the jungle and it would still interact because we would be in Aini and right relation with it. We would not bring awareness to ourselves. So how do you become that peaceful, luminous warrior that can walk on this planet and not leave a footprint? That is so vital right now. There's enough footprints, in the forest right now. So how can we step forward from the place of being a peaceful, luminous warrior? And that place of the Jaguar also is to step beyond fear, and it's mostly step beyond that fear of death. And that's why it teaches us how to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next, over that rainbow bridge. It's the death-birth cycle. And Jaguar medicine is always there when you're feeling that there's a lot up and you're having a challenge. Call on Jaguar. Jaguar will come and mulch. It will eat away at those things that are weighing heavy on us and really anchoring us and holding us down. I already talked about hummingbird, and then we get to the east, and that's eagle. And eagle is spirit. Eagle is that place of, it's manifest. There's no words. It's just the image. You put it up there, you poof it. Spirit is just light. It's just being. And it's eagle. And it's that ability to soar with the great mystery, wingtip to wingtip. It's the ability to see with eagle vision. And eagle vision is so important right now because we want to be able to see with eagle vision, because it will show us that there are countless possibilities available at all time. So what are all those countless possibilities? And then that way we step out of being fated and we can step more into our destiny. So these are all the gifts of the directions. And so we will be calling in the directions soon. And once we call in the directions, we are creating sacred space. So we are creating a environment that's non-linear. It's spiral, it's sacred. There's no beginning, there's no end. And so when we're able to do that, we are able to step outside of time and heal something that happened generations behind and generations forward. Because there is no past and present. It's all here. So that's what the gift of ceremony is. That's why when people will say, you know, why is ceremony different than a workshop? Thank you. I'm losing track of. So because a workshop is doing your head. When we're in ceremony, we are surrendering to that part of ourselves. We are surrendering to the great mystery. We are, once that space is created, and just because I am here, where you are enveloped. We are all here together in this room. We are all in this place of the sacred. We are all in this place where we can heal and we can work through anything. And how we're doing that is I'm just a conduit. I am just here to create sacred space for you and to create an avenue for you to be able to be one with your creator. However, you're going to hear me call it a spirit or a Tankashala or the great mystery. But it's Allah, it's Goddess, it's God, like however you see your creative force, your creator, and your higher self. Because you want to be able to surrender over that piece of yourself that sees from that higher level, sees from that place of eagle, so it can show you. Because why we use fire to a fire ceremony is because it's quick transformation. If you think of a building, or God, unfortunately, you think of all the forests right now, like how quick they can go from being these huge forests and trees to ash. That's why medicine people have used fire forever, because it's the quickest way to transform energy. So when we place our intentional breath into that fire of something we want to release, it's immediately combusted. And realize the difference with ceremony and a workshop is when, because we are working straight with the creator, the universe's answer is always yes. The universe is always there to conspire on our behalf. So the answer is always going to be yes. So you're going to have a result from a ceremony. That used to scare me, because sometimes I thought, am I clear enough to make a right prayer for myself? Am I clear enough? But one of my first teachers said to me, you know, when you're working with Native people, they can really make you feel smart sometimes. She'd be like, basically, it was like, yo, idiot, if you prayed it in, you can pray it out. So know that too. Because it's the same thing. Like sometimes we make a prayer for what we think will be in our highest good, and it may not be. So, but no, if you prayed it in, you can pray it out. And one of my last prayers always in the fire ceremony is always to make the prayer of Ahomatakwiasin, amen to all my relations. But for me, the understanding of that is like thy will, not my will, is that creator force, you know, I'm giving you the prayer that I believe is in my heart, but you know better than I. So I surrender that to you. That could be your only prayer. Like I've been in a sweat lodge where that's my only prayer is the Ahomatakwiasin, is to surrender it, to ask. Because I always say, because of our limiting beliefs, we can't even, and maybe some can, I won't say we can, I can't, most of the time dream myself as big as God can dream me, because God doesn't see me as limited like I see me as limited. So to surrender ourselves to that place of the divine, that place of creation, that place of that we are all perfect, we are all love, the rest is all illusion. And so tonight when we're in ceremony, when we do the journey piece, because that's how we'll do it, being inside, is what are those pieces that stand in from you being separated from, but especially being separated from that piece of yourself that is love, that piece of yourself that is God, that piece of yourself of surrendering that part of you that sees you as separate from all of life, separate from God, separate, but mostly separate from love and separate from receiving love. So Spirit actually kind of really wants to jump into ceremony. That's what it was just sharing with me. So I want to ask if there's anyone that has any questions or is confused about anything. And I also want you to know that when I was doing this, I believe her name, I'm going to pronounce it right, is Pele. Yes. And Pele asked to be with us. And she's divine passion. And this is her message for us before we go in. If you listen to the sound of your heart and breathe, you'll recognize the ancient rhythms of your own internal drumming. This forever connects you to the mother of all creation and to the sound of planet Earth. These rhythms can't be faked or forged. They're natural and eternal. What parts of you are you trying to ignore? What part of you has been overly concerned with pleasing others, so to the detriment of hearing the sounds of your own rhythm? Dear child, reach out and extend your arms to embrace your dreams. There's just as much a part of nature as are the trees, animals, and sunsets. Don't your own dreams deserve the same respect that you accord everyone and everything that you love? Listen to them, my child. Listen to your dreams. They'll activate the powerful eruption of passion in your life. Don't be afraid of your own passion, for it will propel you naturally and will excite and invigorate you. When you dance to the rhythm of your life, you're truly alive in all ways. Various meanings for this is make sure your career matches your interests. Take a class or start a hobby that really excites you. Change jobs. Go on a wonderful trip. Invest time and money in manifesting your dream. Give yourself permission to go for it. Start a new business. Make an honest assessment of how you spend your time and list your priorities. And Pele is a Hawaiian goddess of the volcanoes. Her dynamic strength is sometimes misunderstood. She shows us that fire can purify release us from the old to make way for the new, and ignite our passions. Without fire, nothing would change. Call upon Pele to help you get in touch with your true passion and to charge up your motivation and excitement. Pele will help you to feel everything on a deeper level. So be unafraid of taking action to manifest your heart's desires. So Pele will be going with us on our journey. She's here for all of us. As always, when we go into journey, you can bring any helping spirit, guide, ancestor, ancient one that wants to come with you. And I never know what my journey is going to be, so whatever that journey comes through. And to know on the altar also, we have an angel, and for me that was representative of Archangel Michael. So we have Archangel Michael on the altar, and we have the Lemurian crystal, which is that place of being able to be heaven on earth, being a conduit. We have rainbow quartz, which will help to balance all your chakras and be able to enable your soul to become much lighter. So to help us raise our frequency. On there also is my moon crystal. And then this black stone, which as you can see is in the shape of a heart, but it also has that white line through it. And to me, when I found this, what that symbolizes is that no matter how much darkness that we may perceive in our life, there's always light behind it. And that light is always ready to crack open and come forth and to be a part of us and to bring its medicine. So once again, if we can put our attention that the light is always there, that the light is always willing to be there to be in service to us and is such a huge part of us. My friend today, we were talking about her challenges, and I was sharing with her different tools she could have in working with the situation in her life. And she kept saying, well, I don't know if I know how to do this. And I was reminded through spirit sharing through me to her is that we're not doing anything, right? We are doing things. But to know that spirit is the driving force, it's how we respond, it's how we react to something. That is our place in it. So how do we learn how to be in this world, but not in a reactory way, in a way that we can respond from our heart, from that highest part of ourselves, from that place of love, to that place of what is our heart's desire. May we find that tonight in this ceremony. What is one of your heart's desires that you want to bring forth? This is a truly magical time of transformation right now that we are being given tonight with the full moon and the harvest moon. And so how do we step into that? And we do that from a really blessed place. So with the fire, I will light the candle on the altar. So know that this altar is just as if you were here. How we release in this way is normally we would blow into a stick. So you could have a candle with you with a toothpick and do it literally for yourself. Or know that this altar is here where you can just place your hands at, and the altar, the fire will receive your prayers and combust them and work with them. So we have the amazing fire here. If you have your own personal fire, that's great. We will open up sacred space. And why we use our breath is because it's our chi, it's our life force. And that's how we are able to blow that essence of ourselves and that really good release, because we want to move this energy out from our cells, from our molecules, from our organs, from our systems. So as much as you can release them and let them go, The more that we make ourselves available, the more that we open up space to be able to create a beautiful portal for energy to come in, to create this beautiful vessel for those higher vibrations to come in so that we can source and work from them. So we'll open directions. I will light the candle. I will take everyone on a journey. And then once the journey is complete, you will have the time to come back and work your piece through the fire and to hands whatever it is that you're up to release, and also to bring in. Release and bring in whatever your higher self, your guide, Pele, whatever that comes up. And I really always offer everyone the opportunity to really open yourself up to your higher self, so that hopefully something that you never thought of comes on board to release. As we would say, is that that's the virus within your system. That may be one of the old belief systems that you're not even aware that's working like a virus in a computer in the background, that gets triggered, that makes you stop from moving, that makes triggered, that maybe makes you keep drinking from someplace that doesn't bring you food, doesn't give you sustenance. So we will open directions, and for anyone new to directions, I just say close your eyes and feel them all come in, and feel what each direction, because what the directions are is these are organizing principles that bring with us and carry energy to help us to transform, to help us to step beyond. And then we do the directions, we do the mother, we do the father, and the great mystery, and then we'll go right into journey and grounding, and then release, and then the ceremony will be done. So does that sound okay? Can I have a thumbs up from most people? Cool. Alrighty. So if there are any questions, you can pop them on in chat real quick. If not, we're going to go right into opening directions. Alrighty. So you can close your eyes, or you can stand up if you know the directions in your home and feel them come in. No, for the directions, I'm calling them in. So all you have to do is close your eyes and just feel what the qualities are for you. You'll hear me saying words, but I'm saying words because I'm inviting them in. But it's just energy. So feel what each area feels for you. So. Great serpent, Mama, come and wrap your hula line around us. Help us shed our past the way you shed your skin in one clean swoop. Help us to stay out of that place of suffering and step into that place of impeccability. Teach us how to lay belly to belly with the mother. And thank you for any and all healing that will occur on the physical level. Whoa. Mother Jaguar, thank you for coming and protecting our medicine space. Thank you for helping us to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next to go over that rainbow bridge. Thank you for teaching us how to live fearlessly. Thank you for teaching us how to be peaceful, luminous warriors so that we can learn how to walk on this planet, yet not leave a footprint. And thank you for any and all healing that will occur on the emotional level. Whoa. Going to the north, the city great hummingbird, grandmothers and grandpas and ancient ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this place of mythic and of magic and of imagery. Thank you for teaching us how to be the eye in the center of the storm, to be stillness and flight. But more importantly, how to take that epic journey by knowing where to drink directly from the sweet nectar of life and no longer source from places that no longer feed us. Oh. So going to the east, Great Eagle, Condor, Apuchin, you fly winged away with the great mystery. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking us to the mountains that we only dare to dream of. Thank you for teaching us how to fly wingtip to wingtip with the great mystery. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Help us to see with the eagle vision. Help us to see the countless opportunities available at all times so that we once and for all step out of that place of being faded and step into that place of our destiny. Oh. Hi to Mama, great mother. Thank you for coming here for the healing of all your children, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy, the crawly, the thin, the furred, and the winged. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being the true alchemist, taking that which no longer serves and bringing it back to us in the gifts of gold. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this place of grounding and a foundation and of giving us everything that we need to live on this planet. But more importantly, thank you for teaching us that place of the divine feminine. Help us to awaken that aspect of ourselves. Help us to bring that into a balance. And thank you yet again for being patient with us as a species and leaving us on your back yet another day. Oh. Inti Tai Tai, Mama Kia, Star Nations, Great Spirit, you are known by 1,000 names and you are unnameable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this place of the mythic, but thank you so much for the hearts, minds, and souls of everyone in this circle. Please whisper an area and touch our hearts. Please help us to access those places of ourselves, to bring awareness and to bring up and to release those things that are not in service, to who we are, so that we can be able to walk in the highest vibration that is possible for us in this moment, so that we can rise to the occasion of our spirit, so that we can answer our soul's calling. And I ask you to hold us so sweetly. And I thank you yet again for this opportunity of ceremony. And I thank you for all the ancestors that went before that sacrificed their lives so that we can make this prayer. Oh. So now we have entered sacred space. Feel how your space feels a little different. How you feel a little different. How you're held and you're protected. I want you to know that you are in a safe, alchemical place within yourself, within this circle. You're being held by all these principles and by the archangels, especially by Michael, who are here to be our guides, but here to be of service. And I thank you for answering your soul's calling and showing up tonight. So, before we get started, we'll get grounded. From wherever you are, if your root is touching the ground, you can go from there. If it's your feet that are on the ground, so either from your root chakra or from the soles of your feet, see roots going down into the belly of the mother, going down past the bedrock, going down to her molten core. Feel her energy, that deep, rich energy of the mother, pulsing, that fiery energy, just like Pele. And start to draw up that energy through the roots, either through your feet, but up into your first chakra. And feel it begin to transmute and to bring heat and energy, this vital life force of the mother, grounding you and holding you. Going up to your second chakra, filling up that cavern with this place of the mother, this place of the divine feminine. Going up to your solar plexus, this place of your personal power, filling up and welling up from that place of the divine feminine. And then going up to your heart, feeling your heart explode with that place of the divine feminine. Feel that heat warming you. burning away any walls that you've created. Going up to your throat. Up to your third eye. And then up to your crown. And feel yourself being held by the divine feminine. And feel yourself grounded, maybe as you've never felt before. And from the crown of your head, see this coil of light going up to the Apus, to the heavens, to Inti Tai Tai, Father Sun. This place of the divine masculine, this place of action, and this place of safety. And feel that energy coming down, going into your crown and mingling with the divine feminine. Going down to your third eye, down to your throat, down to your heart, down to your solar plexus, down to your second chakra, and down to your root. And from my Lakota teachings, this would be called the sacred marriage. That perfect balance between the masculine and the feminine, through which I was taught all things can be created because you are in that perfect balance, that sacred marriage. That right now your body is an alchemical vessel to create anything you wish to create in your life. As always, the invitation's there. And we shall begin. So take a moment, do 3 cleansing breaths in, releasing breaths out, letting go of all the words, the imagery. Remember that you can invite Pele with you, Archangel Michael, or any ancestor, guide, ancient one, fairy, gnome, helping spirit, to come with you on journey. Whatever will be in your highest good. And in your mind's eye, I'd like you to think of a place that's sacred to you, a place where you've been, a place where you can be held and feel safe and nurtured. And the first place that comes in, this is your place. So pulling in your helpers and your guides, start to make your way this sacred place. And maybe an ask to be aware, what is your journey like getting there? What does the ground feel like under you? Is it smooth? Is it rocky? Is it sandy? Is it wet? Is it a straight path? Does it have obstacles? Is it windy? These are all signs for you to be aware of. And as you make your way to there, step through the membrane, or when you go through, you're cleansed. And take a moment to breathe in where you're at. Remember it. Let it remember you. What does it invoke within you? Ask whoever is meant to work with you today to step forward. And take the time to share this guide, our ancestor, our ancient one. Ask them to share with you a dream of you, a dream maybe you've never thought of. To share with you what are the seeds that are ready to be released that never grew. What are the gifts and the medicines that you have grown over this summer that are ready to be harvested and to be brought into your life? And I will give you a couple minutes in which to do that while I will just sing a song. Misa, misa, misa. Misa, misa, misa. Misa, misa, misa. Jai Leo, Jai Leo. Misa, misa, misa. Misa, misa, misa. Misa, misa, misa. Jai Leo, Jai Leo. Misa, misa, misa. Misa, misa, misa. Misa, misa, misa. Jai Leo, Jai Leo. And when you start to feel ready, you can start to release your again into the fire by placing your hand up and with intention, feeling that prayer going through your hand and into the fire. Sweet, sweet, I, and you are. Monica, hey, 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 sweet, I, and you are. Veronica, hey, oh, it's 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 I, and you are. Veronica, hey, oh, and at this time, we will all together from our space of where we are at in our sacred space to make our collective prayer. What we would call, if we were together, we would have a Pachamama stick. And that Pachamama stick would be that prayer for the global, that prayer for the universe, that prayer that we want to put out there for the oneness, for the collective. So we would normally pass that stick around and everyone would blow their intention into it, and then we would place it in the fire. So from where we are at right now, I'd like you to put your hands out and make your prayer into the fire for what your collective, what your global prayer is right now for the planet. And as we are still in our sacred space, thank it, thank it, thank it. Thank it for holding you. Thank you for being with you. Thank you for allowing you to enter its space. Thank you for being this home away from home. Thank your helpers, your guides, the ancient ones. Pele, Archangel Michael, any power animals that came to be with you. Thank them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your presence in my life. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the awareness. And start to make your way back. You can bring an ancestor, ancient one with you, if they so choose to be with you, and to come back into our circle. Start making your way back. Coming through that opening. Coming back into the room. Back into circle together. And before you completely come back with your eyes still closed, I want you to see from the fire in the center of our circle, you have made a release. And as that prayer combusts and the gift is released in it, what comes back to you? See an energy of light, a frequency, a color. Come back. This holds a new coding. This holds your answered prayer. For me right now, I see a pale blue, a crystal blue. So I see that come in through the top of my head. So each of you see your color come in through the top of your head, through your crown, into your third eye, into your throat, to your heart, to your solar plexus, to your sacral, and into your root. And breathe life into it and see it expand. See it awakening in you. See it remembering you. See it realigning you. See it rebirthing you. Repatterning you. Feel that vibration. Feel you vibrating at a higher frequency than when you stepped into the circle. Feel how you feel different. Own it. And if you can get a word that it is, for me, it is completions. Honor whatever it is, the first word that comes up, and then breathe that in. And see how that brings over another layer of energy to wash over you. Feel your body become lighter, your soul become lighter, just as the rainbow quartz said. Feel you vibrating at the highest frequency that you are capable of in this moment. And with your eyes still closed, I'm going to pick a light card for us that will give us an understanding of what I believe that every ceremony, everyone that comes to it, brought something to the table. That the connection of all of us together made a certain prayer that went out to the universe, a certain frequency, a certain vibration. So let's see what that vibration was that was sent out. So Ashley will put the card up for you to look at. It is called Leap. You go first, and the universe will catch you. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you are being called to leap toward or away from, but you're scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you're waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission to permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what you know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away, leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear and something new is born. And that is even more glorious than before. So to me, that's a beautiful of exactly how we started, with Spirit sharing that it is time to let go and let go of seeds and let go of all those places so that we can step into that new place. To step in and bring forth all those beautiful gifts that we have gathered in this harvest, all that beautiful medicine that we have developed. And before we close directions and close the ceremony, I just want to share with you to be gentle with yourselves, to be aware of your dreams, to be aware of the signs, but to maybe take that leap and to continue to work with the color vibration you were given, this transformational color. As you went into alchemy tonight and you released, you were given a gift. You were given a vibration and a color and a word and a frequency. So I ask you to bring that in, to bring it into your heart, to integrate it, to work with it, to allow it to nurture you, to allow it to remember you, to allow it to awaken you. It's time for us all to awaken from our slumber. And it's time for us to rise up and to be the spiritual beings that we were born here to be in this moment. And I want to honor and acknowledge you all for being courageous and for taking that step in your life to make a prayer. It takes great courage to pray for change. And so I honor that part of you and know that you can come back. This will be on YouTube. You can come back and do this journey over again. You can come back to this fire and do this work again. And so before we close, I will just ask if anyone has any questions. You can put it up in chat or anything. But I'd really kind of, if you don't have a question, I'd rather you stay in this sacred space that you're in and really sit in its yumminess, sit in its beauty. All right. So we will close the energies, and I want to thank everyone that came here for the first time, and I hope that it was all that you wanted it to be. I hope that you accepted the invitation with a full heart and were able to be filled. And deep prayers of gratitude for you all for stepping up and being in service and making that collective prayer. Because what we did tonight, so along with that Aries moon, so each one of us did our personal work, but I want you to know with 100% guarantee that what you did rippled out into the fabric of life. And as we see our light, so let's take a moment and do that. We didn't do that, I forgot. Is you just sit with your eyes closed before we close the circle and see that light that you were given. And see it begin to light within you and begin to radiate. As bright as it can and with as much frequency as it can, with no effort or energy. It's just the pure essence of you. And see that go out into the world, into the fabric of life, and activate in that fabric your light. So that anyone out there open to receive, be able to bring this into their life. That you can be that ripple. You can be the change you wish to see in the world. And feel all of our lights coming together and washing over each one of us with a rainbow of colors, with a rainbow of energy. With joy, with grace, with ease. And so it is. I will close the directions. You can stay just in your space. The winds of the south, the great serpent, such a moment. Thank you for coming and wrapping your cool blade around us. Help us to shed our past the way you shed your skin in one clean swoop. Help us to stay out of that place of suffering and step into that place of impeccability. And thank you for any and all healing that has occurred on the physical level. Oh. The winds of the west, Aturango, Mother Jaguar. Thank you for coming and protecting our medicine space. Thank you for mulching that which no longer serves. Thank you for teaching us how to go over that rainbow bridge, how to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next. Thank you. And thank you, more importantly, for teaching us how to be peaceful, luminous warriors so that we can learn how to walk on this planet, yet not leave a footprint. And thank you for any and all healing that's happened on the emotional level. Oh. The winds of the north, you see the kids say green hummingbird, grandfathers, grandmothers, the ancient ones. Thank you. Thank you for this place of mythic and of magic and imagery. Thank you so much for teaching us stillness and flight. Thank you for teaching us how to be the eye in the center of the storm. And thank you for teaching us how to take that epic journey. Teach us how to drink directly from the sweet nectar of life so that we no longer source from places that no longer feed us. Oh. The winds of the east, great eagle, condor, apuchin, you fly wing to wing with the great mystery. Thank you. Thank you for taking us to the mountains that we only dare to dream of. Thank you for teaching us how to fly wingtip to wingtip with the great mystery. Thank you. Thank you for this place of teaching us how to see the limitless possibilities. Continue to help us to look with eagle vision. so that we once and for all step out of that place of being fated, step into that place of our destiny. Pachamama, great mother, thank you for coming here for the healing of all your children. The two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy, the cry, the thin, the fur, and the winged. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you so much for being that true alchemist. Thank you for taking that which no longer serves, bring it back to us in the gifts of gold. Thank you so much for this place of grounding and of structure and of nurturing, but more importantly, teaching us how to dive deeply into that place of the divine feminine. Help us to awaken that aspect of ourselves. Help us to learn how to be in Aini with you, how to be in right relationship, how to feed you and nurture you, how to be in balance. Oh. Mama Kia, Star Nation's Great Spirit, you are known by 1,000 names and you are unnameable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you so much for the hearts, minds, and souls of everyone in this circle. Please continue to whisper in our ear and touch our hearts. Please help us to continue to shine this light, to bring it up and to acknowledge it, to make it a part of us, to bring attention and intention, to bringing it into everything we do. To walking with a heart that's wide open and full of love, full of Aini, full of balance, full of heart and action. I thank you, thank you, thank you once again for all the ancestors that went before, that sacrificed their lives so I can make this prayer. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Holy. So that is ceremony, and that's how it differs from a workshop. It's totally experiential. It's totally you being in communion with Creator and with God. But just remember what spirits tell me to share with you is that every day is a ceremony. Every moment of our lives can be a ceremony. Where do we put our intention and our attention? So let's put our intention and attention into bringing ceremony into our life on a daily basis, not just when we sit and pray, but to be prayer in motion, to be heart in motion, to be love in action. I was taught by a teacher, Jorge, that light is love that is in service and it is wise. So let's be light that is in love, that is exemplifying love, being in service, and always bringing forth our wisdom. So I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Be gentle with yourselves, be mindful of your dreams, do some channeling, do some writings. But I encourage you to really work with the gifts you were given. This gifts of the colors, the vibration, and okay, so as someone was saying that they're not very computer savvy, I'm not very tech savvy either, so I don't have Venmo. My daughter does. She would always take them. But if you wanted to do a donation, I will just have her type in my email address, and then we can figure out. I don't know my daughter's Venmo. Well, actually, Ashley knows my daughter's Venmo. Ashley can share with you my daughter's Venmo. I'm just not that up with it. But yes, you can give a donation. It's not why I do it. I do it to be in service. And I do it because for anyone that is new, ceremony has saved my life multiple times. If it wasn't for ceremony, I wouldn't be here. But it is reciprocity, my husband is sharing. So it is always good to give if you've received something. But for me, sharing ceremony is my reciprocity for what ceremony has given to me. And I'm always happy to share that and make that available for anyone that's heart open to make that prayer. But so she will share with you the Venmo, if you have Venmo. If not, Honey has PayPal through the store, through What's your PayPal? Just solutions at Daily Living. She has PayPal also if you don't have Venmo. But so drink plenty of water. Do the shaman's bath if you need it. If you feel a little achy, a little, want to clear it off from the rest of your body, and that is with sea salt or Epsom salt and baking soda. And as hot of a bath as you can for a good 20 minutes. And that helps slough off whatever energy might be up in the physical or the emotional or the mental. So I'll give everyone a minute if they want to jot that down. But if there aren't any other questions, I really want to leave you with being able to go and be with this yumminess that you were given. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your hearts and your souls and your prayers and your willingness to come and make a prayer and to answer your soul's calling.